And so, of course, I mean, I was on top of the moon, super excited about this premium Utah tag that essentially is, a once in a lifetime tag. And it was kind of a bust. My Colorado General, very basic, way outperformed. And so here's that story. I've been on a lot of elk hunts, and this one was it was just hard. Fast forward, I come home from my Utah elk hunt. I did shoot a spike on the last day, which was delicious, by the way. And it was the last weekend of the Colorado hunt. I hadn't used that tag yet. It's the one that I try to always put an elk tag in my pocket in Colorado just to have. It's good to have options, right? You can't elk hunt if you don't have a tag. And so I always put a tag in my pocket if we're able to. And getting down to the last weekend, I'd been gone a lot. And then from that point, I decided instead of just taking the trail out and around, we scrambled up on, got on the ridge. And I told Jace occasionally when we were hiking in, those 20 years ago, we would bump elk on top of that ridge once in a while coming in. So we might as well go out that way and at least maybe have a chance. And I knew that scramble to the ridge, that quarter mile was going to be kind of sucky, and it was. And so we bust out on the ridge, and there's kind of a little rock shelf. So we sit on those rocks, and we're drinking some water and catching our breath. And all of a sudden, I heard something, and I'm like, Jace, was that an elk? What was that? And he's like, No, I don't. It was weird. I don't know. And so we're having this conversation about what that was, and all of a sudden, that elk bugles again, and we look at each other like, oh, holy cow, there's a bull right here. And so we grab all of our stuff. Luckily we weren't all garage sailed out this time, and we don't hike very far, maybe 50 yards, and you can kind of see through this pretty open trees, and there's elk, and it's just like cow, 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 and we're both looking with our binos, cow, cow, and then a bull steps out, and I'm like, "Ooh, Jace, that's a nice little 6 point actually." And he steps out and whistles, and we watch him bugle, and it hit home, and it sounded good, and the elk busted off, and Jason and I are looking at each other. I'm pumping my fist and like, we just killed an elk. Holy cow, that just happened. Like, we had given up. We literally had given up when we were hiking out, and we ran into this bull. And so we backed out, gave him probably a half hour, made a couple phone calls. We're excited. But here's the thing, the throwaway nothing tag turned into be the best hunt of the year. When we killed a great bull, we had a great day, we had lots of bugling. And even though I had that quote unquote glory tag in my pocket, it was this other tag that provided, the great experience.